Remember 5 days ago when I made a video saying that Poppy Playtime was kind of dead right now? Poppy Playtime is dead. At least for now anyway. Yeah, I guess I was wrong, huh? The Poppy Playtime movie now officially has a producer and a studio. The Orientation Notebook has been released and it apparently contains a bunch of lore, and most importantly, Sheep Rampage is back. By the way, I was only joking in my last video about Sheep Rampage not being around. It was just a joke because I missed his content. Don't worry, there's no beef between us, only lamb. But there are huge updates in the production of the official Poppy Playtime movie. Now, this is something that was originally revealed ages ago. We've known that this is going to be a thing for quite a while now, but now the movie has found both a producer and a studio, meaning that the movie is more than likely going to happen. This was announced today on Mob's official Twitter, stating, "Mob Entertainment and Legendary Entertainment partner to bring Poppy Playtime to the big screen." Now, you've probably heard of Legendary Entertainment. They are a movie production studio and they've been producing films for a very long time. Most recently, they produced Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire, but before that, Dune's Part 1 and 2. They've also worked on huge movies like Jurassic World and Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises. So they are very well established in movie production, but it's not just big budget action movies they've produced. They've also helped produce horror movies like Trick or Treat and the 2022 Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, which, hot take, I actually kind of like. So they've already been known to produce horror movies, which means the Poppy Playtime movie has a good chance of staying true to its horror roots. But Poppy Playtime, of course, is a video game, and we all know how movies based on video games can be. Well, Legendary have already worked on several video game adaptations before as well. They produced Pokemon Detective Pikachu, the Warcraft movie, and apparently a couple of Dead Rising movies that I honestly didn't know existed until today. So in terms of production studios, I think this is actually a very good fit for the Poppy Playtime movie, and it's definitely no joke. I don't think this is going to be a super low budget movie by any means, but I guess we'll have to wait and see on that one. And in fact, looking at the article on mobentertainment.com, so take this with a pinch of salt, but it says that beating out several competitive offers, Legendary has closed an aggressive deal. This is pretty much implying that Legendary really wanted this and is willing to pay a lot of money for it, which, looking at how popular Poppy Playtime has been, at least on the internet, I'm not really all that surprised. Especially if we compare this to how popular the Five Nights at Freddy movie was. Yeah, this seems like a no-brainer to me. But not only are Legendary going to be the production studio, we also have a confirmed producer, or should I say producers, as both Don Murphy and Susan Montford of Angry Films are going to be producing this one with Legendary and Mob. Now, between the two of them, they've worked on a number of big movies, but quite a few of them are big budget action movies like Transformers and Real Steel. Now, this could be pretty good for the movie, as I definitely think we're going to get some of the bigger bodies in action, so having people who are used to working on movies with larger-than-life characters could be a huge help. The two producers for the Poppy movie have already worked together on Splice, which deals with themes of scientists doing experiments on human DNA. Looking at all of these, you can easily see how the movie is likely going to explore those dark themes of the games, but also there is a huge potential for them to go bigger and show off those bigger bodies in what I'm sure is going to be our very best look at how scary these toys can be. Imagine the Hour of Joy, but an actual movie. Either way, I think the movie seems to be in very good hands, and this makes me hopeful that the movie will be more than just some low-budget cash grab. Now, on that point, I know some people are not happy with this news, which, if you're not, that is your right. It is kind of jarring that the movie is going ahead before the video game has even been finished, but I think if they are smart, this doesn't have to be a problem. In fact, this brings me on to my prediction for what I think the movie's going to be. Now, this is just pure speculation, but what I think would be a really good idea would be to set the movie up as sort of a prequel to the games. In Chapter 1, we come back to the factory 10 years after it closed, and it was only in Chapter 3 that we finally got a snippet of the downfall of the factory. The terrifying event we now know was called the Hour of Joy, with the bigger bodies going on a rampage and killing all of the factory staff. I think the movie could lead up to and end with this event. We still haven't seen that much of the factory before the downfall. We've seen little snippets here and there with the VHS tapes we find in the game, but a lot of this time period is still shrouded in mystery. We know that there was conflict in the factory, and we know that some people knew something terrible was going on here, and that it was a very dangerous time to work in this factory. I hope that the movie follows a worker in the factory leading up to its downfall. We could have someone slowly noticing that things are off, maybe seeing a toy move and then just thinking it's their imagination. One of their co-workers goes missing, someone quits and is too scared to talk to anyone. As this character starts to investigate and try to figure out what is happening, the company starts to unravel at the seams. The character sneaks into an area they shouldn't. They realize what is actually going on in the lower parts of the factory, but by then, it's too late. The hour of joy happens, leading to a terrifying final segment of the movie, where the character tries to survive and probably doesn't. Something like this could fit perfectly in the timeline of the games. Nothing would have to be retconned or changed. The ending to the main game wouldn't be spoiled if we hadn't already got that yet, and nothing about the games is affected in any way aside from us getting more lore and backstory for what happened before the main games. This way it would only be an added benefit. We get more of the lore, and we also get a really cool horror movie that shows off the toys in all of their cinematic glory. Or of course they could go down the route of a Site B and show us something completely different, but I kind of like my idea. Now of course this week we also got the Poppy Playtime Orientation Notebook. Some people have already got their hands on it and apparently it contains more lore than I was expecting. Honestly, I don't usually look too deeply into supplemental products for these games, especially since in other franchises they tend to only make the lore more messy. But I've ordered this one, it's arriving tomorrow, so I'll give it a read, and if there's anything in there worth making a theory on, I will. But until I actually get my hands on it, I can't really comment too much on it. But yeah, as it turns out, Poppy isn't quite as dead as I thought. Hopefully we get some proper news on Chapter 4 soon. I'm really itching at this point to just cover anything. So hopefully we get some news. I'm waiting for the notebook to come right now. I'm going to edit this video and then I'm going to go play some video games on the gaming channel. But if you did enjoy the vid, don't forget to give it a like and consider subscribing. We seem to be in the summer drop-off of subs again.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
And that makes me cry inside, and nobody, I repeat, nobody wants to see that. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.